Hello and welcome to Odyssey Motorsport TV's live coverage of the Tuesday night main event for the Kansas City Racing Leagues, presented by Nerdy Chimera. A fresh new season, fresh new car class, but the same fun drivers and broadcasters. I am TJ Yankee, and with me in the broadcast booth, as always, is Lesean Young-Dilworth. How you doing tonight, Els?
I'm doing good, TJ. We're going to have a great race here in Japan. We got the GT3s, my favorite class to race, and it's also the most competitive in my opinion. How we doing tonight, TJ?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Looking forward to this season. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. A lot more people entered in this season, so we're going to have a great time. So tonight's race is the opening round of season 10, the Kansas City Racing League's Tuesday night main event, GT3 Pro-Am World Tour. We got a huge field this season, and I am super stoked to see this league grow to what it is today. Hope you're joining us once again for an absolutely awesome season that's put together by Dakota Knapp and his crew. Live race control, including deployment of safety cars under certain circumstances, no tire changes, 50% fuel, a single fast repair, 2 classes of GT3 cars, and over 45 minutes of racing. Els, we're in for an action-packed season, and starting at Suzuka, I find it really challenging myself, especially if there's going to be a bunch of traffic. Wide range of I-rating among these drivers, so we'll see cars get lapped. All that entails as the top drivers fight for the podium through those back markers. But the track, Els, how's your experience been around Suzuka?
Oh, Suzuka, man. The Japanese baby tiny mess of a track. I mean, it's very technical. It's very fast. You got 130R, which is very scary in a sense, into the chicane, onto the front straight, into the first corner, which is just this roller coaster of a turn. Like, what's going on there? And I mean, it's a challenging circuit all around. You got the S's, you got the I don't know what they're called, the ones in the middle, but you got the hairpin as well, and then the spoon curve. I mean, this track is gonna be a good one to start the race out or the league out, and we're gonna see these guys have a good race today. They're gonna keep it clean, and yeah, definitely.
All right, yeah. Like I said, for me, it's a really challenging circuit. I mean, I think you highlighted pretty much all the reasons why. But some of these drivers are up in the top I rating percentages, so I think they're gonna have no problems here tonight. But before we go further into the circuit details, let's recognize our league title sponsor, Nerdy Chimera. Check out Nerdy Chimera on YouTube and Twitch when you're looking for fast racing, fun banter, and questionable decision making on track. You can't go wrong with Nerdy Chimera, aka Brian Fro, who is on track with us tonight. Best of luck to him, and a huge thanks for sponsoring the league this season. Be sure to check him out on Twitch and YouTube. Links to those platforms will be in the video description below. Just a reminder that there are plenty of sponsorship opportunities available on the broadcast. If you have a business, a social media tag, your team, your league, or you just want to shout out your favorite driver, contact us at odyssey.motorsport@gmail.com. We can work with you on graphics and full ad pitches to promote your business or social media on our broadcasts. I was talking with Brian before the session start, and he said he's a Nerdy Chimera. I'm a bit nerdy too, and this is for all the viewers out there. Throw what you think in the chat if this is too nerdy. So I got Chimera number 1 here. If you know what it is, go ahead and throw it in the chat. So that's Chimera number 1, and then Chimera number 2 is going to be this. I know Dakota knows this one, but yeah. We're all nerdy here. We're all enjoying sim racing, so I just thought that would be a little funny thing to throw out there. But let's go ahead and go over our schedule for this season 10 GT3 World Tour schedule. It's up. We got some postage stamps for each race around the world. Some really awesome tracks coming up, so make sure you tune in each Tuesday night to catch these drivers at these challenging circuits from around the world. Els, any rounds you're especially looking forward to?
Oh, TJ, I'm looking forward to Adelaide, man. That's going to be a good one, man. It's going to be very rumbly. Like, we got the street circuit, and it's going to be nice and tight and nice and close racing. We got a long straight hairpin, all sorts of passing opportunities, and also Brands Hatch. That's one of my favorite ones. But we're going to see some good racing here at Suzuka tonight, and I think we got something special for y'all this evening, man. They're really gonna put it in. I just have a feeling.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fantastic. Really looking forward to these guys hitting the track in the GT3 cars. Last season, the GTEs, a little more challenging, really fun, but a little more challenging with the no ABS. I think we're going to see these guys just really excel tonight. But let's go ahead and talk about tonight's circuit. Suzuka, the 3.61 mile, 18 turn F1 spec circuit is a testament to proper car setup and high speed corners. First sector has a number of repetitive twisty bits that lead into a few lower speed corners. Spoon curve is definitely challenging, and so is the infamous 130R, a high speed left hander that was made famous by the likes of Ayrton Senna and Fernando Alonso in Formula One. The final chicane, Casio Triangle, is going to be a great opportunity for overtakes. That's a heavy braking, low-speed chicane after a long straight. Add in no tire changes for the race, and we have the ingredients for some high drama in the closing laps of the session. Just a reminder that there is safety car deployments in this league, but there's no safety car in the first and last 10 minutes. And for a safety car to be deployed, 2 cars have to be involved in the same incident, and both would have to tow for it to be deployed. This could be a major shakeup to the running order and pit strategies, so keep an eye for that safety car. Els will have his ear to the ground while listening to race comms to give us heads up on any messages from race control. Els, last season we talked about how awesome it is to have a league with live race control. Hats off to Dakota Knapp, Brett Marshall, and Linda Barkley for putting on this league and running the live race control. It's so unique and really adds to immersion, and with so many entries this season, it's going to be something pretty awesome. So tonight's broadcast is sponsored by, well, let's go, where to go, DLB Precision. So with every generation of PC components that come out, it's getting harder and harder to find the best value for performance. Does this CPU work with this motherboard? Is this GPU what I need, or is it overkill? Head on over to dlbprecision.com and they can sort all that out for you. Every PC is handpicked and assembled to the highest standard. They are started up, tuned, and stress tested before being delivered. The people over at DLB Precision are sim racers themselves, so they run what they build, and they know all the ways to tune your PC to run your sim title of choice with no stutters, no crashes, and bespoke to your needs. So if you're in the market for a sim PC or an update to your current PC, check out dlbprecision.com. Next up, just like last season, we will have a guided onboard lap Suzuka by an Odyssey Motorsports Mustang, piloted by Lesean Young-Dilworth. Here we go down the front straight. So front straight heading into turn 1, it is a right-hander, and this is the start of those left-rights going through the first portion of the field. So turn 3, turn 4. All right, now that's all of those back and forths going through here. This should be the last one, and then there'll be a left-hander that heads towards a more tight and technical section. Els, if you want to take it from here.
It's CJ, we got the straight here. Hold on, I got comms coming through. Going through here, we're going to go for a late apex. We're going to take it all the way out, washing out wide. And we're going to go straight into the hairpin here. We're going to brake right at the end of the curb. Looking for a late apex. Want to wrap it around close. And onto the straight here. Want to hold it tight to the right. All the way. This is the 12th corner, I believe it is. Into the 13th corner, which is called Spoon Corner. TJ, if you want to take it over.
Yep, so this is Spoon Corner. We're coming to the second half of the circuit. Spoon Corner, deceptively hard left-hander. It's going to lead on to a very long straight that leads up to 130R, which is the high-speed left-hander that is made so famous by those Formula 1 drivers I mentioned. Heading up to 130R, which is going to be this left up here, and then Casio Triangle is going to be the chicane at the end of this. So great overtaking opportunity here. You're going to have a right and a left, low-speed corner, and then that will open you up out onto the front straightaway, and that will finish your lap. Els put in a 158.34. All right, our drivers are already doing the warm-up lap, getting ready to go. Top 5 for the Pro Class, Drake Smith. Second place, Andrew Lanning. Neil Salata, third. Caden Parks-Miller, fourth. Clayton Sanchez, fifth. Jake Van Hees is first in your AM class. Jacob Winslow, second. Benjamin Gallant, Travis Rivest, and Colton Wheat is going to be your top 5. We are about to go green here. And we are away as Drake Smith leads them. Here we go. Season 10 GT3 AM World Tour underway for the Kansas City Racing League into turn 1. So far, Caden Parks-Miller in 4th place. Andrew Lanning and Neil Salata side by side through the first corner. Everyone holding it together so far. We got a couple side by sides further back, and they've already fallen back into line. Ooh, a little bit of contact there.
Very clean so far.
Absolutely. Jumping up to the blimp cam, now you can see all these cars further and further back. Nate Hallistick in the Savage Sim Racing Porsche. Everyone, for the most part, holding it together.
Very beautiful start. Very beautiful looking field. I'm loving it.
Oh, let's move to the TV2 here. Bring up the battle boxes. There's so many cars on track.
Oh, we got a spinner right there.
Right as I looked away.
Another spinner.
Jake Van Hees, Nate Hallistick getting loose there. Oh, just hold the position there, buddy. Oh, that's got to be so heartbreaking watching everyone go by.
Unfortunate, man. Just keep it going. You got it.
Benjamin Gallant taking a look for first place on Jacob Winslow. He's going to get it. They're still side by side. Oh, Benjamin goes wide, and that is a heavy impact. That was for first place in the AM class. Oof.
Oh, man.
It was Jacob Winslow that was on the inside of him, going through 130R with cold tires, full fuel tank, and I guess he just got away from him a little bit, bounced him off into the wall. So Jacob Winslow still holding on to first place right now in the AM class. But Travis Rivas right behind him. We're going to jump up to Drake Smith, who has Neil Salata right on his rear bumper. Some Mustang on Mustang action here. As they head towards that tighter section, they're going to be heading up towards the hairpin here after this right-hander. Let's see if Neil goes for a dive or not. He does not.
Quite.
He's just going to hang behind him. Drake Smith, so many great wins from last season. Crazy last-second overtake at the Nürburgring for the win on Andrew Lanning. We knew he was going to be quick here, but we got a bunch of more drivers that are very quick as well. So we'll see if they can put a challenge to him, being the defending Tuesday night main event champion. And there's that 130R where we saw was Benjamin Gallant get into the wall there. This is Casio Triangle, which is the chicane that goes onto the front straight. So at the end of lap 2 here, top 5 for the Pro Class: Drake Smith, Neil Salata, Caden Parks-Miller, Andrew Lanning, and Clayton Sanchez. AM Class: Jacob Winslow still leading, Travis Rivest, Colton Wheat, Brad Jorgensen, and Joe Harkness. Your top 5 for the AM Class right now. Franklin Edwards just had an off track. Let's see what happened there. Just saw a bunch of people pass him. 130R claims another victim. That's Franklin Edwards. Did not get into the wall as hard as Benjamin Gallant did.
It's gonna have to go back to the pits though.
Yeah, now in your higher downforce cars, you can take that flat out, and it's actually not even a problem, especially in a Formula One car or in the GTPs. Fast corner, but pretty easy corner. So going side by side through that in these GT3 cars, which don't have quite as much downforce, it's risky to begin with. So we've already seen 2 get claimed by the infamous 130R.
So I'm getting comms from race control that Calvin Wolf was black flag. I believe it's car number 138 with incident responsibility for car number 169. So I believe that is Mr. Wolf.
Yeah, I think he was who was on the inside of that second spin into 130R, potentially. Casper Kaluta, part of that Savage Sim Racing crew that is a part of the Kansas City Racing League Tuesday night event. Down in 15th in the AM class for now. Nate Hallistick right in front of him. The CEO of Savage Sim Racing. Oh, goodness. Lance Shellhorn sideways. And Spoon. It gets it back pointed the right way. Didn't hit the wall, so he is going to be okay.
Getting comms at 135, also incident responsibility with car number 177. Not sure if you saw that.
Yep, that sounds about right. Look at all these orange and yellow numbers. Els, these guys are keeping it very close together. Jump over to David Barkley. Look at this train of cars. Absolutely nose to tail going through the S's. David Barkley, owner-operator of DLB Precision, one of our sponsors for tonight. Racing in that BMW. Holding 6th place in the Pro class right now.
TJ, if you can head back up to the leaders, I believe there's a back marker about to affect the race here on the straight.
Yep, so Brian Froh, who is our Nerdy Chimera, our title sponsor for this week, for this season, he is the back marker, so he had an incident earlier on. Let's see if I can find that really quick. I think that was in the very beginning as well. Let's see if that ends up being a problem or not. Let's see, what is Drake going to do coming up to the Nerdy Chimera? Going through Casio Triangle again. And they're just going to take him on the straight. Brian's not really going to fight him. But let's see what happens going into turn 1. No drama at all. He eases out and lets the top 3 of Drake Smith, Neil Salata, and Caden Parks Miller through.
As he should, respecting the blue flag. That's exactly how you should be doing that.
Yeah, especially when you see them this close together. You don't want to be the reason anyone gets upset about that. So, the tip of the hat to Brian. But how about these guys, Neil and Drake, going at it? All 3 Mustangs as well. Even Andrew Lanning in 4th position, who's going by Brian there in the background, also in a Mustang. So Mustang's got, this has got some of the top drivers, it's got their attention. Oh, it does sound good.
Oh, you know we love the Mustang. Good looking car to start with. And fun to drive.
Absolutely. We're going to jump back to Brad Jorgensen, who is hot on the heels of Colton Wheat. This will be for the last podium position in the AM class. Coming up to Spoon Corner here.
Just a tap.
Just a little love tap. See if he gets a better exit, and let's see if we see more side-by-side action through 130R. So far, I don't recommend it based on the 2 previous attempts we've seen.
It looks close.
Oh, that was really close. Colton holds on, going through Casio Triangle again. And back onto the front straight. I see Joe Harkness had an off. Let's take a look at what that was. So this is going into turn 1. Oh, just overcooks it a little bit. Back into that Mercedes coming out. No damage, just off track. He's back going the right way.
At least he did not have to pit. Best way to...
Oh, gosh. Brad doing everything he can to try to get in front of Colton. Yeah, he didn't have to pit, but he does have to take care of his tires. Spinning is going to overheat these tires. No tire changes in this league, so got to take care of them. So fewer and fewer of those spins. Want to keep these tires lasting until the end of the session. We're going to jump up 2 positions at Travis, who's still looking at Jacob Winslow here. Well, this will be for first place in the AM class.
Now, I see some of the cars have green winglets.
Yep. So if you notice on the left side of the scoring tower, you see the Pro class is red. Oh, here we go. Out on the exit of Spoon. It's going to tuck it back in behind him. Might see him move into that Casio Triangle. Oh, don't do it in 130R. He's just filling up his mirrors, making him sweat. Yep, so the mirrors and wing end plates, you just notice that these cars that we're watching right now with Travis Rivest has that blue color. That is to designate the AM class. If we jump up to, you can see all these guys up here. They're all running red, with the exception of Brian Froh, who's a back marker right now. I had an incident in the beginning of the race. Ooh. The red mirrors is the Pro class. So nice little helper for us on the broadcast. And if you are just tuning in, you'll know which class is which based on the mirrors and the end plates. So good pointing that out, Els. Appreciate that.
No problem, TJ. Just trying to keep on my toes, man. Noticing the little things. And seeing how the league has just been developed. At this point, Dakota Knapp has put it on once again. We're seeing a clean, respectful race.
Absolutely, so far.
Oh, man.
Here we go. Here we go.
Holdeman on the outside.
Yep. Going defensive cleanly, but Brad not able to make it happen. That's Mark Blizzard, who's 10th in the Pro class. Right behind him, he takes a move. Oh, he closes the door on him. A little bit of contact, but everyone stays facing the right way. Here we go. He's going to look to the right side, which is that's going to be the outside into Spoon. Like I said, Mark Blizzard in the Pro class behind him. So he's going to be itching to get by these guys so he can go up and fight with the Pro guys.
CJ, if you want to look at the leaders right now, they're going at it.
Oh, goodness. Thank you. Side by side down the front straight. Caden Parks Miller up from 3rd into 1st. Let's see what happens going into turn 1. Neil on the inside. But they're going to be switching back and forth a bunch here, inside and outside. No, Caden takes it, as we saw Neil's, the Mustang, get a little out of shape there. Caden Parks Miller into the lead of the Pro class, with Neil in 2nd and Drake Smith falling back to 3rd.
Great drive by Caden Parks Miller. He took advantage of the little slides of the other guys, and now he's taking the lead Good stop.
Yeah, great move taking it down the front stretch. I'm wondering if there was some battling there. Let me see if I can go back a little bit.
It was actually a little bit of a looseness on the chicane. I think it was by Drake Smith, and it allowed for everything to happen.
Let's take a look at that. So that's the exit of the chicane.
Wow, right up the middle.
Right up the middle, down the front straight. We saw the rest happen. We're going to jump back to them so we don't miss anything else. These three, we said Drake Smith, the defending champion of the Tuesday night main event for Kansas City from season 9. So we know he's got pace. Neil also very quick. Been told that the GT3s are definitely a car he excels at. So not a huge surprise that these three, and you know, Els and I know Caden as well. So these three, I think they're going to be battling for the whole session, as we are just past 15 minutes in of this 45-minute session. Still a lot of racing to go.
Absolutely beautiful driving. I love to see it, TJ.
Absolutely, especially when it's these top upper ranked guys. They really know how to put on the moves and defend nice and cleanly. As we saw, all those passes for the most part absolutely flawless.
Caden goes a little bit wide there.
Yeah, Neil right on the rear bumper of Caden Parks Miller, just waiting for any sort of slip up to try to take that first place position back. And, you know, Drake Smith right behind him as well. Oh, a little bit of bump drafting through the exit of that corner. Neil putting the pressure on Caden here. On board with Neil as he tries to fight past Caden into the hairpin up here.
He's going to wait for the exit. See if he can get a better one. Does not look like it. Caden just stretching his legs at this point. Getting away.
Yeah, but down almost under a quarter of a second. We'll see who gets the better exit out of Spoon here. Oh! Neil's going to go around. Neil's going to go around.
Man. Now these guys are on the limit. So we're going to see some of that happening. But wow.
I can't believe we were on board when it happened. Let's see from the outside real quick. Nope, not what I wanted to do. I wanted Neil. Sorry, here we go. Neil. Let's see if he touched the curbing on the outside with his left rear, and if that's what upset the Mustang. Yep, that's exactly what it was. A little bit too much throttle on that curbing on the outside, and around the Mustang goes. But solid driving from Caden Parks Miller. Had that pressure from Neil behind him, and got a little loose here and there through this initial first sector, but held on to the lead, and it was Neil who ended up making the mistake.
Heck of a drive. Heck of a drive.
Yeah, unfortunate for Neil, though. Like I said, I know he's a quick driver. We saw him last season in the GTEs. He was pretty quick. He was usually up there in that top 3. David Barkley trying to hunt down Clayton Sanchez for a top 5 here in round 1 at Suzuka. And there's just so many different corners on this track. Elevation changes. It's a lot.
Technical course.
Very technical course, and the plenty of high-speed corners as well. That first sector, even though it is just kind of repetitive left and right, relatively high speed, asking a lot of the car to go through those corners quickly, lap after lap after lap. So we'll see how the tire degradation goes throughout the rest of the session here. Looks like Jake Smith is mounting an attack on our leader, Caden Parks Miller, in the pro class. Gap down to under half a second. Heading on to that front straightaway once again. See, that gap did close down a little bit while on the front straight, but it's back up to almost a half second. That's the draft doing it for him. We can jump back a little bit further to some of our AM drivers. Ash Harper, 11th place in the AM class, hunting for a top 10. He's about 2.5 seconds behind 10th place of Jeremiah Sodden, both returning drivers from last season. Jumping back up. These two, once again, the gap we saw, it dropped down to just under 0.2 of a second there coming out of the hairpin. Heading into Spoon Corner again. We're heading down to 130R. You see that gap, the interval starting to come down a little bit as Drake gets the draft on Caden. Into the final chicane once again. Looks like Caden got a little bit better of an exit there as you see that gap grow almost up to a half second again. So lots of accordion going on. We got cars coming out of the pits. That's Lance Shellhorn coming out in front of the leaders here.
Now we know Drake Smith is a hard contender for a win here. As he's pulling in the gap here on Caden Parks Miller, the back marker might be distracting him just a little bit.
Yep, let's see how these two manage to get around him here as he's just going to jump out of Lance is going to jump out of the way.
Let's see how strategic he gets. Lights flashing.
Yep, another back marker ahead. That's Mike Silberborth in front of him. Newcomer to the league. He's just going to stay wide and let the leaders go by, but that's going to... Oh, now he's in between. And that's going to give Caden a little bit of breathing room here.
Oh, he goes off track. I think he did that on purpose, to be honest.
Yeah.
Smart driving. I'll give him that.
Yeah, like I said, never want to be in the middle of the leaders fighting. We're going to jump back to Jake Van Hees. 7th position in the AM class, hunting down Joe Harkness. Oh, take a look up the inside as they're doing the right-hander on the lead up to a little bit of flashing lights there from Jake. See if he tries to make a move in his spoon. Excuse me. All right, let's see what happens here on the long run up to 130R and after. Here we go. It's going to look up the inside. Don't want to be on the outside. Here we go.
Into 130R is crazy.
Yep, and Joe's just going to back out. Yep, Joe's just going to back out. Nice move from Jake Van. He's into 6th position. Going to jump up to David Barkley as he is right on the back of Clayton Sanchez, still trying to get that that top 5 position. David Barkley is as they're going around. Lance Shellhorn, the back marker we saw earlier, that Caden and Drake went around. See if there are any other really close battles on track. Nate Hallistick, 11th, taking a look at Ash Harper in 10th in the AM class. Both Porsches here. Jump back up to David Barkley as he's closed that gap. Well, he did close that gap down under a half a second, but it's jumped back up, so must have been a little bit of late braking from him. Through the hairpin is Nate Nash. On board with Nate Hallistick as they head towards Spoon Corner. Still keeping the gap very close, but not able to quite close it enough to make a move. Here we go. From onboard, watch how fast this corner is, 130R. That's the corner that we saw the two incidents.
It's actually flat out, isn't it, TJ?
I mean, it can be. I think you might have heard a little bit of the throttle lift, just a tiny bit, like I said, in these GT3 cars. I know I lifted the couple times I've driven here in a GT3 car. I'm sure some of the guys are able to hold it flat down. Oh, let's see. Kyle McDonald had an off. Let's take a look at that real quick. See what that is. This is Spoon. Mustang, we're going to see another self-spin. Yep, like I said, a deceptively hard corner Spoon is.
I want to head back up to the leaders, TJ.
Oh yeah, they have really reeled in that gap here. Caden Parks Miller still leading Drake Smith, your season 9 defending champion. But the gap is down well under a half second as they both dive into the pit. So let's see what happens here. See if both of them have clean pit stops or not. Andrew Lanning also jumping in, as well as Neil Salado. So this is your top 4 in the pro class. Let's see how the pit stops shake out here.
Every second counts at this point.
Yeah, we're going to see
Every
who
half
comes.
second.
Yeah, and see who comes out first. Like I said, only taking fuel. Oh, Drake out super early. He's going to take the lead here. Caden Parks Miller in second. But did he take enough fuel? We are 28 and a half minutes into this session, so not too far past halfway. Did Caden take a little bit too much fuel, or did he take the right amount of fuel and Drake took not enough?
Actually, I believe it was a slightly missed pit entry. Or not pit entry, pit box.
For Caden?
For Caden Parks Miller, yes, sir. I was watching on the third-person camera.
Gotcha. That is unfortunate for Caden. But still, like I said, just under half the race left. Plenty of time for him to reel Drake in and try to make a last end of session pass. Otherwise, Neil Salada and Andrew Lanning maintained 3rd and 4th as they came into the pits. Jump up to Travis Rivest here, who is leading the AM class. Got a 12.5, 13, almost 13-second gap over Jacob Winslow, who's second. Jacob Winslow, he's got Jeremiah Sod and Brad Jorgensen right behind him here. Brad Jorgensen was part of race control for season 9 last season for the Kansas City Racing League. So good to see him on track, and we appreciate him being part of that race control for last season. Like I said, really awesome to be part of a league that has live race control. So huge thanks to him for being a part of that last season, and I'm glad he's able to have some fun and do some driving this season. Jeremiah Sodden holding on to the final podium position in the AM class, but Brad Jorgensen right hot on his heels as they come on to the front straight. Nope, he's jumping in, so it's Brad into third. Jump over to Joe Harkness. You see this train of cars here. As all the pit stops are shaking out, you see that order changing on your left-hand side of the screen. Oh, Casper Kaluta got a black flag. I wonder if it says pit lane, maybe speeding in the pits.
That's unfortunate. Not what you need in a race like this.
Absolutely not. So that is, yep, we see him jump to the pit. I'm pretty certain that is he just pulled off and towed. I think that's a hold penalty, isn't it?
I believe so.
Oh, look at these guys.
40-second hole.
Oh, comes Jay Cannon was taking a look on Joe Harkness as both of them went a little wide. Joe able to hold on to the position for now, but Jay Cannon hot on his tails in that Lamborghini. We're going to jump up to our pro leaders as Caden Parks Miller, Neil Salata, and Andrew Lanning pretty much nose to tail for the remaining podium positions. Drake Smith at about 2 1/4 seconds ahead of this group.
Now, TJ, when I mean the pit box was missed, and I'm talking about a slight braking miss. I mean, it wasn't anything that I even really noticed, but I realized it after the pit exit was happening.
I mean, yeah, if you're doing everything you can on track to gain a 10th here and there in the pit lane, every tiny difference, as you could see, I mean, how much farther out Drake pulled than the rest of these three. Yeah, absolutely. Got to be careful of that. Look at all the gravel that's being thrown up there from those off tracks earlier in the lap.
Now, I'm also wondering if Drake Smith has put more fuel than Caden Parks Miller. But the way it looked, maybe Caden Parks Miller put maybe too much fuel. We'll never know.
Well, we'll know at the end if we see Caden really quickly towards the end reeling in Drake. We'll know Drake's on a fuel save to try to make it to the end.
Okay, definitely true.
Or we'll just see him run out of we'll see him run out of fuel. That's Lance Shellhorn. They're passing 16th in the AM class right now. On board with Neil. Ooh, Caden got a little loose there. And so did Neil at the same time. Let's see what happens going into turn 1 and see if Neil makes a move or not. Oh, he just takes a look.
Just the fake. Caden is not falling for it.
So like I said, Drake Smith, returning defending champion, Neil Salata, Andrew Lanning, both returning drivers in the pro class from last season. Caden Parks Miller, a new face here for season 10, but definitely going toe-to-toe with the best the league has to offer so far. All right, we're going to jump real quick. I see in the chat, Mike Pico. Yep, he is in the red Ferrari. And he is in 12th position in the AM class right now. That being said, we are going to jump back up to our leaders because just under 10 minutes left in this session. Round 1 at Suzuka of the GT3 World Tour Pro-Am. And the fact that these guys are still this close together, any mistake, any little wiggle, and anything can happen else.
Definitely, TJ. Like I said, it was a pit strategy mistake.
Yeah, that's the only difference. Yeah, that's the pit mistake was the only real difference maker so far between these three and Drake Smith. But again, as you said, maybe Drake took a little bit less fuel. Maybe he'll be in trouble later on. Maybe these guys took too much fuel. We won't know until everything shakes out towards the end of the race.
Now, what I do love to see is the back markers are being very respectful of the blue flags, allowing the leaders to get by no problem. And that just shows that everybody's being respectful of the league and the standards of the racing.
Absolutely, Els. And in a circuit like this, where a car that is lapping you catches you, you can't always plan it perfectly. So there are different places that you'll lose less time. Oh, and here we go. We had to say something about it. Now Neil looking up the inside on Caden Parks-Miller. Oh, Caden gets into the back end of Neil there. Andrew Lanning's going to take advantage of the fight between Caden and Neil. Caden back going the right way. Neil also back going the right way, but definitely was the worst of the two.
And I'm getting a black flag notification from race control that Caden Parks-Miller has been black flagged for the incident. Live control has dropped the hammer.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things with live race control. They're watching. So Caden got up to the inside of Neil there. So unfortunate for him that it does come with a penalty, but them's the rules.
Them's the rules. Definitely right, TJ. Unfortunate to see, but these are the type of little mistakes that happen in motorsport, and love to see it at the same time, the little edges of the race, but unfortunate that we have to see it come down to penalties at the same time.
Yep. Absolutely.
I was gonna just say that it's a strategy battle at this time to see if Caden can make it back into the race.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were on board with David Barkley there. He's only 3 seconds behind him, which is 5th place in the pro class. David is very close to Clayton Sanchez. It's Jacob Linso leading the AM class under attack from Brad Jorgensen. Going into turn 1. Now they're going through the S's. You're going to see kind of this accordion effect as they go through these S's here. We have 5.5 minutes left in the race. Oh, he's right on the rear bumper now. Let's see if he makes a move into the hairpin. It's Brian Froh up ahead, who's a back marker. Looks on the outside.
That's a hard one to stick.
Yeah, Jacob going defensive to hold on to first place. If Brad could have kept it a little bit longer. He would have been on the inside for the switchback there, but solid defending from Jacob. Oh, you see that Mustang twitch up ahead of him? I think we might see some tire-related accidents coming up here. Here we go, heading up to 130R. We've seen problems with this corner before. Side by side, Jacob backs out. As we saw twice earlier in the race. Oh, Jacob took a look at the inside, but was too far back. Being on the outside, going too wide through 130R, not the place you want to be. Brad takes first place in the AM class with Jacob backing out at the last second. But, I mean, there's still about 2 laps of racing left for these guys. So, see if they can mount, if Jacob can mount a run on Brad here for first place in the AM class. So the gap opening up here. We're going to jump up to Clayton Sanchez right here as David Barkley mounting the attack, trying to get into 4th position in the pro class here. Heading up to 130R. Let's see what happens. Nothing much. Got multiple back markers in front of these two. Trying to get a little bit more of that draft before going back over to take turn 1 is Clayton here. So I think there might be a white flag the next time around. Jump up to Drake Smith real quick. He is almost 6 seconds ahead of Andrew Lanning. So Drake Smith doing Drake Smith things in the Kansas City Racing League.
As usual, Drake Smith at the front of the pack. Very hard contender there for another win at the KCRL League at Suzuka.
So this back marker here, I just want to point out that Caden Parks Miller was 2.5 seconds behind David Barkley. He's now down to under 1.5 seconds as they were battling each other and getting around that back marker of Mike Silberborough or Silberberth. He has gotten that, he's taken 1 second out of that. I don't know if he's going to have enough time though. Just jumping up to Drake Smith. We want to see if he's going to take the white flag here. With only about a minute left on the clock, this should be the final lap. Or the white flag. Ooh, getting a little out of shape there, going onto the front straight. I can't see the Suzuka signs in the way.
I see something waving, so I think that was the white flag.
So we're going to jump to Jake Van Hees. Going side by side with Jacob Winslow. Jake Van Hees into 2nd place in the AM class.
Awesome drive for Jake.
Absolutely. And coming up to take the white flag. No better time to do it than at the end to make the pass. Got Brian Froh in front of him, lapped. Brad Jorgensen in that purple AMG Mercedes. So not sure if Jake's going to be able to reel him in for the final lap here. It's within a second. It is possible. Daniel Scheid, the names on the leaderboard. So there are two. They're all the same car class, but this competition is separated into two: the Pro and Am. So your Am cars are going to be the blue designation, and the Pro cars are going to be the red. Drake Smith coming up to take the checkered flag.
Great drive.
Starting off the season just exactly the same way as he finished it, taking the first win of Season 10. Andrew Lanning coming in second. Neil Salata in third. Jumping to Clayton. Still has David Barkley on his sixth, but is able to take fourth. David Barkley fifth. Caden Parks Miller right there in the background ends up sixth after that black flag. Zach Lewis, Richard Sudersky, Matt Stallcup, Mark Blizzard. Round out your top 10 in the AM class. We're going to jump to Brad Jorgensen. So I see the red on Jake Van Hees. He actually might be in the Pro class. It might be a incorrect designation. So I think Brad Jorgensen is actually first place in the AM class. So if that is the case, Brad Jorgensen is your AM class winner, with Jacob Winslow in second, Kyle McDonald in third, Joe Harkness in fourth, Glenn Pino in fifth, unless that changes, because Glenn, he was not able to get it at the end there. So first round almost over. We just got a couple more cars. Colin Maxwell heading into, oh goodness, late last second pass there from Calvin Wolf. Tried to make it happen into that final chicane. I think these are our last two that are on track that need to complete. Actually, nope, we got a couple more further down. Blaze Scheid. I think that is just about everyone. So let me go ahead and move Jake Van Hees over to the Pro class. Sorry about that. All right, so with that being said, first race in the books. Let's take a look at our results. In the Pro class, as we said, Drake Smith doing Drake Smith things, defending champion of Season 9 of the Kansas City Racing League Tuesday night main event, comes back and takes the season opener for Season 10 for Heartland Autosport. Andrew Lanning, second place. Neil Salata, third place. Fourth place, Clayton Sanchez for Savage Sim Racing. David Barkley for DLB Precision. Fifth place, Caden Parks Miller, Zach Lewis, Richard Sudersky, Matt Stallcup, Mark Blizzard, Blaze Scheid. Let's see who else is on that. That is all of your pros. Jumping to the AMs. Els, you want to read a couple off here?
I believe Jake Van Hees was in the Pro class.
Correct.
But we'll go ahead and start with first place. First place, Brad Jorgensen, excuse me. Second place, Jacob Winslow. This is going to be a little bit confusing. Third place, Kyle McDonald. Fourth place, Joe Harkness. Fifth place. Oh, something in front of me there. TJ?
Yep, sorry about that. Yeah, as you can see, the red, Jake Van Hees, it did change the red, but the results, he should be in the Pro class. Sorry, continue.
Oh, sorry about that. Seventh place, we got Jake Hannon. It's just hard to read. Eighth place, Travis Rivas. Ninth place, Carlton Wheat. 10th place, Colin Maxwell. 11th place, Calvin Wolf. 12th place, Jeremiah Sodden. 13th place, Ash Harper. 14th place, Mike Silberbroth. 15th place, Lance Shellhorn. 16th place, Casper Culloden. 17th place, Benjamin Gallant. And 18th place, Brian Froh.
Yep, and that is everyone in the AM class. We got a couple different drivers in the waiting for interview. So we're going to start with Drake Smith, our race winner. Drake, congratulations on the opening round win, finishing off season 9 as the champion, the defending champion, and coming in and starting off the best way you can for round 1. Congratulations on your win. How was it for you out there tonight?
Well, thank you, TJ. Not gonna lie, it was a little difficult. The GTE for me personally handles a lot easier than this GT3 tire model does. And so I'm a little heartbroken that they're updating the GTE tire model as well. So kind of forced to get used to this, as you know, as much as I don't really prefer it, but not too bad.
Well, I mean, interesting to notice or to hear that from you, because it didn't look that way on the broadcast. Pulling out the huge lead there, 6.7 seconds. Your gap to Andrew Lanning. Did notice that all the top drivers had the Mustangs up there. So Mustang, you're clearly your preferred car. Do you think it has just a little something more over the other GT3s?
I guess I only own a couple of the GT3s and I really don't drive them too often. I actually chose it just because I owned a Mustang in real life. So I just said, why not? Let's rep something I'm used to, I guess.
Well, Els and I are quite partial to the Mustang. Love the way it sounds. Looks good too.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly has some performance in this league so far. But huge congratulations on starting off the season the way you finished last season with a win. Any shout outs that you have for anyone?
Thanks. I'm going to shout out my brother. I shouted him out last season early on, but this season he's joining in, Michael Brockert. So I'm excited to have him in these races now, kind of getting him up to speed. So it's pretty exciting to have him in here.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Drake, and we will see you next week at Silverstone.
Thanks, guys.
All right. That was Drake Smith, your pro class winner. We're going to bring in Andrew Lanning, second place, and Els, you can take it away.
I'll probably hop back up. Never mind.
Andrew Lanning, congratulations on your second place. How was your race?
Hey, what's going on? Race was okay. Kept it off of other cars, and that's about all I could hope for. GT3 can be a mess sometimes, and then looks for some people that it was, but not for me. So
overall, a clean race. How was the challenge? How challenging was the circuit for you?
So both Neil and I have quite a bit of experience here. We did the 6-hour just a month or so ago and finished pretty well. So had an idea kind of where I would be with pace, and didn't put a ton of practice time in to get to where I was, but probably should have put in a little bit more just to have that other 2 to 3 tenths. But yeah, otherwise I love this track. Hope that we get to race it more in the future leagues.
Definitely, and we didn't have any safety cars this race. Are you happy about that, or were you expecting it?
I think had there been a safety car, I would have fared a little bit better. They usually do pretty well with the safety car strategy. I did expect it, and I'm surprised that we didn't get it. I figured we would have had it within the first 3 or 4 laps, if I'm honest. But yeah, great driving, everybody, to not let that happen.
Okay, and once again, congratulations to your second place. Is there any shout outs that you wanted to give?
I just give a shout out to Dakota again for helping put together the league. Give a shout out also, I know we're running Mustangs, but to the Mustang Challenge community as well. Dakota's also helped build that up from the ground up, along with our buddy Alex. Other than that, yeah, just everybody, thanks for coming out. 30 some drivers.
All right, Andrew Lanning, thank you for having a good race tonight. You have a wonderful night.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
All right, that was Andrew Lanning, second place in the pro class. We did miss some. There was a second page, so from 17th position on. In the AM class, Michael Brockett was in 18th. 19th was Leon Hitchens. 20th, Nate Hallistick. And 21st was Franklin Edwards. I think SDK Gaming had a little bit of a hard time there. Me changing Jake Van Hees to the pro class right there at the end. But I mean, quite an action-packed race, especially in the earlier stages as the cars were grouped together. A couple incidents at 130R, couple incidents at different portions of the track passing the back markers, and you know, a huge pit miss from Caden Parks Miller to lose the lead there in the middle of the race. So a little bit of everything except the safety car, as you mentioned to Andrew. So Els, final thoughts on the race tonight?
No, I imagine a safety car would have brought the race much closer in the front there at the end there. But I'm pretty glad that it was clean enough to not need a safety car. So we're already seeing good standards from the beginning. I love to see that in the beginning of a league. That means the standard is set. We're going to have a good race as a standard set for the rest of the league. So that's just good to see in general.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, as Andrew said, 35 cars out on track tonight. Definitely the most I've ever seen in a Kansas City Racing League. So, you know, thank you so much to all the drivers who participated. I know there's a bunch more that are signed up that might not have been able to join tonight. So we'll be on the lookout for them next week at Silverstone. So, yeah, I'm glad there wasn't a safety car because, like you said, I think it would have choked up the field. It takes time. This is not a track that a safety car lap is quick, so that would have eaten into a lot of our race time. So I'm kind of glad it didn't happen as well. Again, another testament to the driving standards of the drivers in the Kansas City Racing League. So fantastic. Any final thoughts, Els?
Not quite. I mean, it was just a clean race. It was exciting in the sense that there was just increments that made the difference at the end there. And I mean, unfortunately, we didn't get the last lap pass that we were looking for, but definitely a good race. The guys put on a show. Shout out Dakota Knapp for putting on a good league with clear rules and clear live control that seems fair and honest. So we're already, like I said before, just good standards to start the league.
Yep, I'm absolutely looking forward to next Tuesday at Silverstone to see these guys go at it again for another 45-minute race in these GT3 cars. Yeah, again, thanks to Dakota Knapp for putting on the league. But that's going to conclude our coverage of the season opener of Season 10 of the Kansas City Race League Tuesday night main event presented by the Nerdy Chimera. A huge thanks to all the drivers who participated and Dakota for his crew for putting it together. The league. I am TJ Yankee.
And I'm Lesean Young-Dilworth.
And that will conclude our broadcast tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next week at Silverstone.